Hi, I'm Chuck Colson with this week's 2-Minute Warning. A few weeks ago, I told our Breakpoint radio listeners about the Republican leadership's belief it could win in November by focusing exclusively on economic issues. I called that an enormous blind spot and explained why cultural and economic issues can never be separated. I asked listeners to contact the Republican leaders, and they did, by the thousands, to the point where the leadership's email servers almost shut down. I only wish I could say the Republican leadership took our concerns to heart, but I'm afraid they didn't. Okay, they gave a nod to the sanctity of life and traditional marriage, but in their 8,000-word-long pledge to America, the Republicans devoted a scant 2 lines to social issues. Better than nothing, I guess. But they threw us a bone. So what's next? For starters, we conservative evangelicals, along with Catholics, need to acknowledge that we have no political home. It's not only the lack of concern over social issues, although this is the most important, but our country faces some crucial tests, and I frankly wonder whether our current political system is up to the job. Neither party seems capable of dealing with the soaring government debt. They simply differ on how to make the problem worse. I can't help but think of a similar time in our history. In the 1850s, the old order, Democrats and Whigs, couldn't or wouldn't do anything about the most pressing issue of the day, slavery. So people looked for an alternative, which became the Republican Party. In some ways, a more appropriate example might be theologian Abraham Kuyper in late 19th century Holland. Kuyper founded the Anti-Revolutionary Party because he believed that the concerns of Dutch Christians, both Protestants and Catholics, were not being addressed with the existing political system, and he was later elected prime minister. Now, I'm not saying we ought to rush out and create a new political party, but sometimes I wonder. The status quo is simply culturally and fiscally unsustainable, and we don't help matters by allowing our votes to be taken for granted. The system needs to be shaken up, and those of us who believe in fiscal responsibility, the sanctity of life, the importance of traditional marriage, we're the ones that need to do the shaking. Remember, folks, politics follows culture. The politicians will have to respond to a groundswell of opinion. The Tea Partiers get it. They've created a mass grassroots movement, and their voices are being heard. Just ask the Republican establishment, whose candidates have been pounded at the polls. So here's what I want you to do. Share this 2-minute warning commentary with your friends. Email them. Put it on Facebook. Tweet away. And then ask your friends to send it to their friends. We need to start a really vigorous national discussion. And then let me know what you think. Is a new political party viable? Are we really politically homeless? Can our current system be rescued? Go to colsoncenter.org and click on Speak Out with Chuck. Post a comment. I want to hear from you. I'm Chuck Colson. That's this week's 2-Minute Warning.